Esiet sveicināti, dārgie televīzijas skatītāji un futbola draugi. Mani sauc Jurijs Gājos, un šis ir raidījums par futbolu. Pie manis studijā šodien viesosies Latvijas nacionālās izlases galvenais treneris Slaviša Stojanovičs. Bet pagājušo trešdienu sīvā cīņā Riga FC futbolisti izcīnīja tik ļoti nepieciešamo punktu spēlē pret RFS un varēja svinēt savu čempionu titulu otro gadu pēc kārtas. Bet tagad ķersimies klāt OptiBet virslīgas 35. kārtas spēlēm. Un sāksim mēs ar spēli, kura notika Arkādijas stadionā – RFS pret futbola klubu Ventspils. Rīdziniekiem eksperimenti sastāvā daudz jaunu seju, tai skaitā Dumbijā, Bazils un Ogunģī, vārtos Grigorjevs. Pēc vairāk nekā gada nespēlēšanas futbola klubu Ventspils sastāvā atgriežās aizsargs Dmitrijs Klimaševičs. Rezultātu atklāja ventspilnieki, kad pēc Grigorjeva rupjās kļūdas vārtus gūst Eduards Tīdenbergs. RFS ātri atspēlējās, kad pēc 3 minūtēm stūra sitienu izpilda Roberts Savaņnieks un galvu sit Nauris Bulvītis, bet veiklākais pie vārtiem ir RFS debitants nigērietis Emeka Maikls Bazils 1-1. Likās, ka spēle tā arī beigsies ar rezultātu 1-1, bet citādāk domāja Dāvis Ikaunieks, kurš pēc tālās piespēles vienā pieskāriena no gaisa raida bumbu vārtos 2-1. RFS pabeidz sezonu uz skaistas nots. Liepājā viesojās jaunie vecie čempioni Riga FC. Liepājas sastāvā debitē jaunais Gatis Lūks. Rīgai pēc svinībām svētku 11-nieks vārtos Puriņš. Spēles gaita būtiski tika ietekmēta jau 10. minūtē, kad sarkano kartīti saņem Kristers Tobers. Spēles rezultāts tika atklāts tikai 72. minūtē. Teicamu individuālo meistarību demonstrē Brisola 1-0. Riga FC dubultoja pārsvaru 86. minūtē, kad labs sitiens padodas Ivanam Lukjānovam. Raļkevičs ir bezspēcīgs 2-0. Bet Liepāja spēlēja līdz galam, un vispirms Fraidejs 89. minūtē samazina rezultātu starpību, bet jau 91. minūtē Raivis Andris Jurkovskis izlīdzina rezultātu. Dramatiskas spēles beigas un 2-2. Svarīga spēle Jūrmalā, kur Jūrmalas Spartaks uzņēma BFC Daugavpili. Šobrīd Nuncio Dzavatieri rīcībā ir labākie spēki, un visi tie ir laukumā. Viktors Moros izvēlās sev ierasto 3-4-3 schēmu ar Oforu, Regžu un Kokinu priekšā. Daugavpils jau nodrošināja sev vietu virslīgā 2020. gada sezonā, savukārt Spartaks vēl cīnās par Eirokausiem. Rezultātu Spartaks atklāja 58. minūtē. Labs sitiens ar galvu padodas Igoram Tarasovam, svarīgi vārti 1-0. Beigu rezultāts 2-0, kad precīzi sit Spartaka līderis Nemanja Belakovičs. Spartaks cīnās tālāk. Nemazāk svarīga spēle risinājās Jelgavā, kur viesojās Tamaza Pertijas padotie futbola klubs Valmiera. Valmiera joprojām cīnās par Eirokausiem un pat cer uz 3. vietu. Jelgavniekiem ierastais sastāvs izņemot Renāru Rodi, kurš paliek rezervē. Pārsteigums Valmieras sastāvā – leģendārais spēlējušais treneris Gatis Kalniņš atpakaļ laukumā. Komandām nebija daudz labu vārtu gūšanas momentu. 2 no tiem izcili vārtos spēlē gan Māliņš, gan Lazarevs. 0-0 un Valmierai, lai tiktu Eirokausos pēdējā spēlē, jāuzveic smeta. Pēc īsa brīža pie manis studijā viesosies Slaviša Stojanovičs. Man studijā ir pievienojies Latvijas nacionālās izlases treneris Slaviša Stojanovičs. Hello, Slaviša. Thank you that you come here, and I think you have busy time now also before national team games.
Yes, it's all the time the busy time and all the time not the right moment, but I respect the journalist, I respect my job and what I must do even when it's hard.
Yes. Let's speak about Virslīga, and Riga FC is champion. You was a few years before also working in Riga. Was you on stadium when Riga FC lifted the trophy?
Yes, I was watching that game. they have more constant during the season the games, so that they deserve this Champions Trophy, and the second place of RFS is also well deserved. They also win the cup, so these two teams show the best performances during the whole season, because I was here from start until the end, and this is it. But in last moments, there are some other teams who have also some good performances and good games.
What was your emotion when Riga won? It's like for you a little bit closer club in Latvia, or it's
no. I was working there, but I have same emotions when RFS win the trophy, or if Jelgava will win, I will have the same emotion. I do it professionally. I watching most of the times the possible national team players, and that is my point.
In general, what do you think? What's your thoughts about this year Virslīga, about level, organization, and other things?
Yeah, because of the weather, it's the first part of the season. It's very hard for everybody. They are playing all the time on the artificial grass, many times on the school pitches, and it's quite difficult to understand this part because of the weathers and the infrastructure which is here. Then during the season they start to play in the normal grass, and the level it's a little bit better. But in general, how I'm making the observation, it's not so big tempo, not so. It's so many interruptions of the game, many fouls, many standard situation, a lot of doctors and physios coming.
If you compare with national team games, it's
totally different level, totally different aggression, totally different tempo, and that's why we have some problems, or maybe bigger problem when we come to the play in the national team, because 70 or 80% of our players are playing in the Virslīga, when it's not the same tempo. When we come to this level against the teams which are playing this kind of games every single week, then it's situation is quite clear.
Trouble, yes. Maybe for you some bright best players in this year Virslīga, maybe somebody drop in your eyes.
I was observing most of the time the national team players. Of course, there are a lot of foreign players also inside in the teams, and it's hard to tell.
But if you need to choose, tomorrow we give a prize from Slaviša Stojanovičs, the best player in league.
Oh, it's hard. Look, it's really difficult to say. There are a lot of players who make their impact in their teams. For example, Darko Lomajić is the crucial player of RFS. Panic is the crucial player maybe in Riga, and you will find in any team these kind of players. But it's so many changes in the team, so many change the positions, so many changing also. Sometimes they are playing there on the bench.
It's a big problem for national team.
It's a really big problem. Who don't understand this? It's a big problem. They don't have all the time the games, and sometimes it's hard when the players which you see in one position, they are playing in the clubs in a totally different position.
Okay, of course we can't don't speak about national team now. For Latvian national team is a very difficult time situation. You, like coach, have you been before in a situation like this?
No.
No.
I totally understand the media. I totally understand the public here, but I also want everybody to understand me. I was first time in this kind of position. I never lost in my 20 years of career 3 games in a row. Now I lost everything, eight, and it's hard. It's painful. It's suffering moment for everybody. But we must face the truth and face the reality. And when we do this and make it open speech and be clear and honest, then it's the first step to improve and go in the better position that we are now. For sure, it's not pleasant for nobody who is involved here. and it's hard moment for everybody. And like I said, in 20 years I normally lost maybe 5 or 6, 7 games during the whole season. Now it's already 8 now, and
I think it's difficult also, like for players. I have big players. You see these eyes that I think guys now don't believe themselves.
That's also it's a big issue, and sometimes we are not so technically bad, but on the other side, it's this belief that we can do something.
Yeah, when you don't have mentality,
yes, and that's the crucial point which I want to change. And to believe, and maybe just we need 1 or 2 good games against good opponents that they start to believe that they can do something in the future.
Okay, next one is before you start work in Latvia, you said that you understood that it will not be easy, but now you are 1.5 years almost here in Latvia. What was the most surprise you in negative way and in positive way?
I'm here until March, so it's like 8 months, and so in totally.
Together with
before, yes, before. With Riga it's different stories, but now I'm here. Yes, it's a. If I can see, let's go first see the positive things. Okay, there is a few guys and few players which I see that there can be perspective in the next period to take the main roles in the.
Maybe names.
Well, it's obvious the guys who are which I called in the national team. So there is Tobors, Chernomordins, Kigurs. Ontujans, there is goalkeepers, Ozos, Lazarevs. It's also here Uldrikis. These are the positive things. The negative things, I don't want to. Then they will attack me that I again criticize something. But I try to be realistic. It's a lot of. The first negative thing is infrastructure, of course, and the conditions of the trainings and the training sessions for many teams. Then the second thing is this. I expected maybe a little bit more quality of the players. And when I speak that somebody is quality, that doesn't mean that he is also just the player on the field. Quality player is. Showing his attitude on the field and outside the field. So then this expected more tempo here, and there is a lot of negativism all around. You can feel it, and this we must be united here because it's not a big nation, not a big number of players and quality players. So if we are not united, then it's twice time harder for me, for next coach, for previous coaches, and for everybody here. So if I can mention these are the things.
Slovenia is the similar country, population and everything. There is more united in football way. Or also have problems?
Yeah, everywhere you have the oppositions, everywhere you have some negative impacts everywhere. You know, this is our job, part of the job. Football in general it's a little bit complex things, but system of the work in Slovenia is really in good level. They produce every year a lot of players. Many clubs produce a lot of players who can play abroad, and they are playing abroad in main roles in the big clubs in all over the Europe. These are products of the Slovenian league, and of course the clubs which are playing in the European cups, they are achieving good results.
Slovenia is a different story because there is every sport is at top level. There is Doncic, Slovenia, basketball, football, everything. I think the skis and
and now in the last period also the volleyball, the handball, they achieved to make medals in the good competitions.
We here in Latvia need to study something about Slovenia.
Yes, I'm trying to implement this. I know I'm in Slovenia from the beginning of the 90s when Slovenia gets separate from ex-Yugoslavia, and with all the time as a player I was until 2000, and in the end of the 90s I became a coach. So I know this development. I know how they did it. What are the main roles? I try to implement here. I try to make the suggestions. I hope we will be successful successful here.
Okay, next question is about our football society. You know, I heard many times question why Slaviša stay, why Slaviša stay. Not maybe because of you bad or good, but in this situation when, like you said before, you also wasn't in this situation, why you stay? What is your motivation?
Many questions I have this, not just here in this country. I have questions in Bulgaria, in Serbia, in Slovenia, a lot of questions. Why I'm doing here with that kind of CV, with that kind of reputation which I have. But many also don't understand why I stay here. Many don't understand what I did to come here.
Why you choose Latvia?
Why I choose Latvia, what I did to come here. So my personal sacrifices, my personal issues, my, taking the risks of my private life, taking the risk of my professional life. But I take this as a challenge. I came here. If I have just 1 year contract, I honestly never sign.
Don't go
In this group, which I know it will be hard, I never sign the contract and come here for 1 year. We have a vision for 3 years, if it will be possible, to make something, to change, and most of the time it's a football reasons, not other reasons. Why I
Not
stay?
money. Okay.
You know, I will not speak about the money because it's ridiculous.
Yes.
The people know what kind of money I have here. For your information, this is the salary which I have in my country 10 years ago.
Okay.
So it's the money, it's not the issue. For sure it's not the issue, and it was never and it will be never.
Okay. Do you notice improvements in game, in national team's game, for 8 months?
Okay, I can be in this question, I can be very diplomatic, and I will start to speak to find some good moves.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
If I am honest, in the tactical way and the performances on the field, a lot I didn't see, if I'm honest. So somebody will say, oh, you're responsible for this.
Yes.
Yes, I also agree. But it's a lot of facts why is not like this. Our best performance was against Poland in Warsaw. So in that time we have good Karashauskas, good Rakels, and Isaievs on the field. And after that we have also in good form some other guys.
Gutkovski's good game.
Yes, Gutkovski's good game, and also Osh, which was in the next time he was injured. So then came the injuries, problems in the club.
All together.
And then we cannot continue. Then we start to search what is the best system. Sometimes we choose to play with 3 at the back and try to find a solution what is the best for this group. With 4 at the back, 3 at the back. I don't have training camps. I don't have friendly games.
2-3 days before the match.
And if I'm lucky that everybody come, because they're coming mostly the first day, the second game, and somebody come on the third day. But I don't have friendly games to check all the details. I must check against very good opponents in the real games. So this is
Next year will be easier a little bit.
much more easier. No matter who will be on that position, it will be much easier.
Friendly games also.
Friendly games, camps, camp if it is possible in February, Baltic Cup, and then you can prepare everything for the September. For September to crystallize the team, which we are doing now. As I said at the beginning, it will be very hard. I said it publicly. I said it also in the board meetings that every single point in this group will be very hard to get, and it will be big for us. Take this year as a big experience, and to see who can be the leader in the next years. Try to crystallize them and give them the chance next year immediately, and make it on a good way.
It can work, but in our situation, when all football society is not together, it's very difficult. This Latvian national team results make this all, like, I don't know how to say, problem.
Yeah. Of course it's not help.
Yeah,
it's not help. The results is not helping. It will be much easier if we have better results. But in the same moment, we must be realistic. We must be realistic. A lot of players in this group, which I was the coach, or I play against them several times in my life. I know the quality. So we must be realistic. What can we do? And if we see and look at the back and games against Andorra, Gibraltar, Faroe Islands, and calculate how many points we have in this game, but not on. It is several games.
Yeah, it started a little bit
earlier.
Yeah.
So now it's the culmination. I know it will be hard. I didn't expect this kind of hard, if I'm honest. But this is the fact. This is not starting now. It's a previous. I'm not trying now to find excuses, but let's. It's fact. It's fact. How many games you play against these teams which I mentioned, and how many points you have against them. So now to come in this group and to expect easy that we will do easy, we must fight for every single.
A little bit for fun. When I play national team, there wasn't so bad results. We didn't lose Andorra, so maybe I must.
Well, you're lucky.
Maybe I must come back.
Yeah, maybe. But all the other teams also improved. You know, also this Andorra improved. Gibraltar, Liechtenstein, Malta, Luxembourg. You know, they improved in their organization. Their players are playing abroad. They are playing in good leagues. This is.
Where is problem?
I don't know. We must find altogether the problem. We are speaking constantly in the federation with the sport director, with the national team coaches. I also try to speak with the presidents of the clubs, representatives of the clubs, coaches with the clubs. So try to find the things.
About codex, you mean before you speak a lot about new rules, about that players need to change. Attitude for national team, but in same time you called up Artūrs Karašauskas in the moment when he didn't play 2 or 3 months. Also for society it was like big surprise and a lot of people was unhappy. But you don't be afraid to lose authority in player eyes.
If the Karašauskas is the main problem of this team, it's easy.
Yeah.
I will speak. If the Karašauskas and calling up him is the main problem, then it's easy to solve.
Yeah.
You know, if I call him and I will lose the authority by this, then it's a bigger problem for somebody else's eyes, not mine. You lose the authority in different things. You know, I will not lose the authority because I call the player, which I think is probably one of the best one-against-one players which Latvia have in the last period. And I'm very unhappy because his quality and what happened after the Poland game with him in general in the clubs, that he didn't give the chance, have the chance to show his performance. He's a specific guy, we all know this. And he must be treated specific. Why I call him in this camp, last camp? Because I thought that we need a player who can go one against one and have this change of speed, because he's the only one. He's not afraid to play. I put him for 20 minutes, just 20 minutes, to make a difference. For somebody else, he was one of the best in the training session during this week. So I see in him quality which we don't have. That's why I called him.
How many players like Karašauskas who likes and can dribble?
Not so many. Not so many. Maybe 2, 3 in the whole Viesos Liga or whole players who can be in the national team. Latvian players. I'm speaking about Latvian players.
Now it's a big problem if
in
attack.
Yes, we have the problems on the wingers position. We have the problems on the fullback positions, because in some points we have the deficit in the positions. You know.
Coach, often you criticize players like in public, in press conference, in interviews. It's like straight in the head, like we say. Do you think it's normal because players also are listening this, watching interviews? Their reaction can be negative.
Tell me what is for your critics. I don't see that I criticize the players if I say the facts.
You say about little dogs, chihuahuas.
This is the character things.
Yeah.
You know, I try to put them out of the motivation. I try to put. I said, now we mix two things. I never criticize the players. This is the fact. Publicly, no. What I say, in public, in the press, they already know, because I said them also in the dressing room or the analysis.
It's not like first time.
No, it's not the first time. So if I say the facts that we are not physically ready for this kind of competition, that maybe we are overweight, and we are overweight. This is not the critics, this is the facts. Regarding Chihuahua and these kind of things, I speak, this is putting out of the context. So I said this whole wolf story, so this is comparing. We must show that we are wolves on the field, not to play like Chihuahuas. That's the fact. This is the character thing. So if we want to be wolves, we cannot approach like Chihuahua. This is not the critics. This is just the example how we must play. So we must put the heart on the field. We must be ready. Angry. We must be angry, hungry, and this is the kind of possible improvement and kind of motivation, not the critics. So we have different points. What is the critics for you and the media, and what is the critics for me? I'm not a young coach. I'm 20 years coach. I have really tough players in my life, really tough to handle, and I know exactly what to do. Of course, sometimes also I make a mistake. Sometimes also I step over the line, but it's just the point how you treat the critics and how I treat the critics. So I say them in the analysis and in the private meetings what I have to say.
There was a situation, I don't remember before which game, then you said that 8 or 9 players don't want to go to press conference, like.
But this is the fact.
Yeah, it's not. It's why? What is this? How do you think?
I don't know. The journalists asked me why they didn't want to give the interview in the mix zone, and then I answered the question. With this, that I have also the problem. Because sometimes nobody wants to come with me on the press conference, not because of me, because to answer the questions. Taking the responsibility here is a big issue. So the players here, when it's hard, they need to take responsibility as a man, as a professional football player, and in life in general. So taking also in this, show your character. So you must take the responsibility and to go. For me, you think it's easy for me now to come to you to answer all these questions?
Thank you.
But it's hard, but this is part of my job, and they must understand also this. So taking the responsibility, you watch all the games, the journalists watch all the games. Tell me one player who every time, local player, Latvian, they take responsibility on the field. Most of the time, foreign players take the responsibility. Free kicks, corner kicks, penalties, speaking, provocation, tackling, whatever. So if you have all this, nobody here take the responsibility. You come to the national team when somebody must. They are not used to do. So it's a bigger problem. But these are the facts. Also abroad players. They are there. They are playing in the system. If they play like the club wants, the coach wants, they are in. If they don't play, they're immediately out without a question. So they are a role, and if we compare for example, now we are playing against Slovenia, Jan Oblak, captain or the vice captain of the team, responsibility of Josip Ilicic in Atalanta is big. You know, responsibility of Verbic in Dynamo Kiev is big. He take. So we miss this. We must create this.
How it's impossible to create. It's like going by going. It's not normal. It must be natural, not like we create a leader. It's you can't create leader.
You must find the player who have the characteristics to be leader. And then the group and with the coach and the system, federation must crystallize him that he is the leader, that he is the captain, that he is the example. You're totally right. You must born with this. You must have. But we, as a observation, we must find help who have the characteristics to be. But the group crystallize here.
Don't want to be many negative questions, but imagine that after 2 last game in qualification, LFF board say offer you to break agreement. What will be your reaction?
Look, it's very simple. I'm not a complicated guy. We will sit and we will speak. Anyway, we will speak after these two games. I must put the reports and we will speak. And also about my destiny and vision, what is good for the Latvian football in future. So if anybody think that I don't have my self-respect, I have a lot of my self-respect. I show it after the games in the September camp. I speak honestly there in that time regarding my destiny and choosing what is best for the future. I speak it now before these 2 games, not after. I speak also before these 2 games. So we will see after these 2 games, we will sit, find the solution, what is the best for the Latvian future, and it's very simple. I will not complicate it, nothing.
Okay, and last one, next game in Slovenia, your home country. It's special for you moment, or it's a normal game?
No, it's not normal game, of course. It cannot be normal game like it was not here in Latvia. We play, I come to my city. I play against the players, which I was the coach, maybe 7, 8, I don't count, but a lot of players.
Your family will be on stadium?
Yes, probably yes. Probably yes. It will be hard game, of course. It will be hard game.
And I wish that it will be hard, but good game and with good result. And thank you that you come in this moment. I appreciate really. Tas bija Slaviša Stojanovičs, Latvijas nacionālās izlases galvenais treneris. Nākošā un pēdējā OptiBet virslīgas 36. kārta risināsies 9. novembrī, kad mēs uzzināsim 3. un 4. vietas ieguvējus. Valmieras uzvaras gadījumā viņi sev garantē Eirokausus nākošajai sezonai. Un ja Valmiera uzvar un futbola klubs Ventspils zaudē, valmierieši izcīna bronzas medaļas. Savukārt Spartakam ir visgrūtākais uzdevums. Pašiem jāuzvar Rīga FC un jācer, ka Valmiera zaudē punktu spēlē pret Metu. Valmieras un Metas spēli skatāties arī Best for Sport kanālā. Vēl gribētu atzīmēt spēles konto stadionā, kur tiksies Rīga FC un Jūrmalas Spartaks. Šī spēle būs pēdējā Edgara Gauroča karjerā. Atbalstam savas komandas stadionos, pasakam paldies Edgaram Gauročam par viņa karjeru. Mani sauc Jurijs Žigājovs par futbolu.